Good morning guys, we are just getting ready for our Sunday Bumday 30-minute glute workout. So if you're just joining in, you don't need anything in particular, just a towel, water bottle and a mat. So we'll get started at 11. Have yourself some of your favourite music, motivational music, playing in the background as well, and you can join in with that. I'll save this video so that it can be watched on repeat later on too. I've just got a couple of minutes to wait. Hopefully some Zoom attendees will jump on as well, and then we will make a start. If you're just jumping on the Facebook Live, let me know where you are training today, whether it's in a spare room, in your front room, in your bedroom, in the garden or elsewhere, and then we'll make a start really shortly. Hi to anyone that's watching on Facebook Live. We are just about to start a 30-minute glutes workout. Low impact and body weight, so no additional equipment needed apart from a mat, towel and water bottle. If you just logged on, let me know where you are exercising today, or whether you're just having a sneaky sit down and watch, whether it's your spare room, your front room, your bedroom, your garden, anywhere that you are choosing to work out today. Let me know where you're from and what you're doing. And this is my spare room. Welcome, with the little disco light in the corner. Say hey, let me know that you guys are all right. And then we will make a start really soon. Good morning guys, how are you doing? Are you all right? 30-minute glutes workout about to start. All right, let's do this. Okay, so I've got a little timer, so you don't have to worry about timing at all. We've got a short warm-up, we've got a short cool-down, and then 3 blocks. Each block has 3 exercises, which we're going to repeat 3 times. We're going to be working for 40 seconds and having a quick 10-second rest in between. We'll start standing. Here we go. So we're going to do some knee circles. So we're going to pick up one knee, rotate the knee, lift it up, swing it around. Hi Sam, just joining in. Literally just started loving knee circles. There we go. Pick up, switch it around. Beautiful. Let's change direction, up and over the other side. So this little first bit of mobilization is to get the muscles around the hips working. Let's change legs, opposite side. Pick it up, switch it around. Testing the balance a little bit too. Lifting and lowering. Good, changing directions, up and over. If you need a little toe tap in between, you can do that too. Awesome. Then we're going to start some leg swings. I'll turn sideways on. You're going to swing forwards and backwards. But just take a teeny tiny pause as your leg kicks behind you. You keep swinging. I'm just going to tweak something on Zoom. Here we go. Keep swinging, keep swinging. Beautiful. And then swap the legs around. Change legs for me. So opposite leg, just taking a gentle swing forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. Good. With that teeny tiny pause as you take the leg behind you. Try and stay nice and upright. Watch out for sinking into the lower back. Good. Lovely. All right, we're going to take it into a squat, so feet a little wider than hip distance apart, turn the toes out. Start gentle, just gradually increasing your depth. Sending the knees in line with the toes, chest stays up. Good. And then we're going to start to come a little bit deeper, bringing the hips in line with the knees, maybe a little bit higher. Good. Heel toe the feet a little wider. Sink it down. Good. Keep the knees nice and wide and the chest up. Awesome stuff. Sending the fingertips down towards the mat now. So it might require a little bit more depth as you tap your fingertips down and stand. Tap down, stand. Good, nice. If you can, heel toe a little wider. Tap down again. Good. Sending the knees nice and wide, chest stays up. Awesome, well done. All right, I'm going to change direction, so I'm going to come into tabletop on the mat. So sink your way all the way down onto all fours. Pick up your right leg. We're going to pulse, little kicks. Donkey kicks as the heel lifts towards the ceiling. And then you're going to take the knee wide, out to the side, fire hydrants. So keep the hips nice and stable and steady as you lift your knee out towards the side. Awesome. Change legs, donkey kicks first, little pulses, heel kicks towards the ceiling, belly button firm, lower back strong. And then we take the knee wide, and then fire hydrants. Knee to knee, and then lift the knee up. Good, nice. In line with the hip or a little bit lower. Perfect. We're going to do an exercise that we're going to do later on today. So extend, you're going to make little circles. Good, small rotations, changing direction. Lovely. And the other leg. Extend the leg behind you. Little circles, whatever direction comes first. Good, and change direction. Well done. Nice. Okay, so our first exercise is clam shell. We're going to have the right hip on top. Knees bent 90 degrees-ish, heels in line with the hips. On the bell, you're going to just open one leg and lightly lower it down. Really small movement. Shoulder in line with the elbow, keep the belly button drawn in. 3, 2, 1. Right leg clamshells, little lift and lower. And when you just take a little squeeze of the top, lift the leg up and pause, lightly lower it down. See if you can keep a little gap between the knees when you bring them in line again. Looking down the body, the shoulders, the hips and the heels are roughly in line with the knees at that 90-degree bend, just allowing you to be able to lift and lower the knees. We're over halfway, well done. We're going to stand up for our next exercise. We'll have 10 seconds in between just to allow us to change position. Round about now, you should be feeling some fire up in the right hip. Lift and lower with control. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stand yourself up. All right, so this is going to look like this. We're going to do a single squat, reasonably narrow. As you stand, you're going to lift the right leg. Single squat, and then lift the left. So we alternate left and right with that little squat in between. Think of the squat as your rest, and the lift as your working section. I'm flexing my foot and dialing my toes so they face forward rather than lifting up. So we're not here, we're here. Little squat in the middle, toes forward as you lift. Good, nice, well done. Sink the hips back, standing tall. Good. Little tick-tock action side to side, 15 seconds to go. Now we're back onto the mat for clamshells with the left hip on top. Smooth action, lovely. Chest stays up. Nice, 5 seconds left. You're getting a few more reps each side. Yeah, lovely. Down to the mat. Left hip on top. Shoulders, hips and heels in line. Knees about 90 degrees. Ready to open up with the left knee. Here we go. 40 seconds, lift and lower. So it's not a big movement. You don't have to worry about bringing the knee all the way on top of the hip. Use the natural range of your hip to see how high you can lift, and think about the muscles around the hips squeezing to lift your thigh bone up. Good, well done. Coming up to halfway, 20 seconds to go. That'll be the end of our first round of block 1. 2 more rounds to go. Lift and lower. 10 more seconds. So round about now, that little burn starting to kick in around the muscles in the hip. Breathe through, you can do this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. If you want to sit back, you can come briefly into child's pose, send the hips over the heels, maybe take a little wriggle, have a quick drink of water, and then we're going to come back to our right hip on top. 8 seconds, then we go. So find your set position, bend in the knees. If you want something a little extra, you can lift the hips as you open the knee up this time. So round 2, a little extra squeeze is an option. Maybe something that you do is have one on the ground and then one elevated, so you alternate between the two. So you just bring that little more fire. Notice as you lift the hips, if you're taking that option, just bring a little bit more control. So try not to rush it. Lift the hips lightly lower. So what we're doing is the top hip is working throughout, but when you lift, the bottom hip working too, because you're effectively pushing your knee into the ground to get the lift up through the hips. Well done. 5 seconds to go. Lightly land and then lift again if you're taking that option. Well done. Up to standing. So reasonably narrow squat, single squat through the middle with alternating leg lifts to the side. Keep your toes facing forward. Here we go. Squat down and lift. Right then left. Squat and lift. Good. Well done. Hands can go anywhere that feels natural to assist you with balance. When you stand, you're taking the weight over your standing leg. Try not to lean in the opposite direction. Stay tall. Think about the crown of the head lifting, and then you're going to do the weight or the work with the alternating hip as you bring that leg up. Good, and again, you're working to a height which works for your hip structure. Don't feel as if you have to bring the foot high. In fact, the slower you go, the more the muscles are working. Because when you speed up, it's more momentum taking over. Last few seconds. Well done. All right, let's bring it down. Left hip on top. So snug the knees, snug the heels. Remember, you can either go hips on their own, knees on their own, or alternate. Bring the hip up once, come back onto the ground, or stay lifting each time. It's up to you. Lift and lower with control. Good. When the hips come back down to the ground, land softly. Try not to rush. Pushing the right knee into the mat if you're taking that option. Using the left hip muscle continuously every time that the knee opens. Over halfway. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Well done. Nice. It's looking good. It's looking good. 10 more seconds. Keep breathing. Smile through it. We've got this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. If you want to sit the hips back real quick, take a little release, reach forward, give the body a sway. And then in 10 seconds, we'll make a start. Last round on the right side. Okay. Right hip on top, stack the knees, stack the heels. So single leg lifts, alternating with a hip lift or hip lift throughout. Here we go, last round. If you're taking the hip lift throughout, it might be easier to take the hand up onto the right hip. Otherwise, when you lift your body up, your right hand kind of feels like it's got nowhere to go. Placing the hand on the hip will also help keep the chest lifted, which will assist you to breathe. 20 seconds to go. Keep the body long. Squeeze as you lift. Nice, well done. Last few seconds to go. You've got this. Lift and lower. 10 left now. Awesome. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Pop up to standing. Right, this time I want to encourage you a little slower as you lift. Landing down for your squat. Here we go. Squat down for 1. Lift, slow. Bring it back to your squat. Lift, slow. Back to your squat. Awesome. So feel that extra bite as you lift. So you're not swinging the leg. The muscles are working to pull it up into position. Squeeze and lift. Good. Down we go. Squeeze and lift. Well done. Really nice. Over halfway already. Sit back. Squeeze and lift. Awesome. Toes forward. Chest forward. 10 seconds left. Lift. Nice. Final round of the clam shells with the left hip lifted in 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Down we go to the mat. Finding your position. All right, knees stacked, hips stacked. Either clam shells on their own or with your alternating hip lifts or hip lifts throughout. Here we go. So if you're doing the hip lift throughout, I would take your left hand to your left hip so that it's got somewhere to go. Maybe even you take it to the temple. There's another option for you. It doesn't really matter. It just feels like it gets a little bit lost as your shoulder lifts if your hip lifts at the same time. 20 seconds to go. I don't know about you, but I can really feel it in my bottom hip now, like it's already had a workout, so it's tired. Just over 10 seconds left. You've got this. Lift and lower. Rising up, focusing on the left knee up. 5 seconds to go now. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Shake it off. Okay, so we're going to come up to standing for our next exercise. We're going to take a backward lunge with the right leg, finding our position. And then we're going to do 3 slow pulses and then rise with control. Feel like you're squeezing everything into the middle. We'll stick with the right leg on its own. Hips forward, shoulders forward. Here we go. 3 pulses and then a super slow rise. Feel the inner thighs squeeze together. 3 pulses again. Good. Stand up tall, squeeze. So especially with the back leg where you're up on the toe, that should allow you a really nice contraction of the right glute. 3 pulses and a slow squeeze. Good. Nice. 15 seconds left. Rise and squeeze. Awesome. Nearly there, nearly there. Rise and squeeze. Woo! 5 seconds left to go now. Take your time on the squeeze. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Down onto your back, heels close to your hips. We're going for hip bridges. So tucking the tailbone, lifting the hips, digging in with the heels, and then we're going to take a single lift and lower. So lift the hips, Bring them back an inch above the ground. Lift and lower. Take your time to rise. Feel the muscles grab hold, then lightly lower down. Keeping the tailbone tucked will help prevent a lift from the lower ribs. So we're lifting through the hips, chin lifted, create space for the neck so you can breathe. Over halfway, 15 seconds to go. Dig in with the heels and point your toes forward. Last few rounds, and then we're going to change to a left leg step back lunge. 3 slow pulses and then a rise and squeeze. Well done. Here we go. Hands behind the knees. Rock yourself up to standing. Split your legs, hip distance apart, toes forward. Let's get ready to drop back. So the left leg is behind this time. 3 pulses, nice and slow, and then squeeze as everything zips up together. Down low. Imagine literally like your legs are a zip coming close together. 3 slow pulses. Rise up, squeeze as you straighten your back leg. Put an extra little bit of juice into your back glute. Good, nice. Slow pulse. Lift and squeeze. Chest up, facing forward. 10 seconds to go. Lift and squeeze. Oh, sound that was on Zoom has dropped off. Hopefully she'll come back. Nearly there. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Shake it up. If you want to take a quick stretch here, alternate wide knees, ankles across. All right, on the bell, we've got 10 seconds to set up for our right leg. So step the right leg back. You're on your toes. Both toes or both hips and shoulders face the front. 3 slow pulses. Stand up, squeeze. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Stand up, squeeze. Good. 3, 2, 1. Lift up tall. Right glute. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Ah, Sam's back. Yay. Lift and squeeze. So this is right leg back at the moment, Sam, honey. Lift and squeeze. Halfway through. 20 seconds to go. Down low. Nice. With control. Beautiful. Just over 10 seconds left. Lift and squeeze. Giving the right thigh a little bit of an extra workout as well as you tighten it, straighten the leg. 5 seconds to go. Nice, well done. Down to the ground for hip bridges. Option this time to add a pulse in the top half. Heels close to your hips, toes facing forward, hands flat on the mat. Tuck the tailbone, we'll lift, and then you've got the option to stay high, pulse the hips, come down low. Hips release an inch below or an inch above the ground as they come down. So we keep tension through the glutes. Chin still lifted to help you breathe. Little pulse at the top. See if you can get your second pulse higher than your first. So it just requires that extra bit of activation of the glutes. 15 seconds to go. Lift and squeeze, lightly lower down. Remember the tuck of the tailbone, gently release. Nearly there. Very close, very close. Good, well done. Hands behind the knees. Rock yourself up to standing. We'll step back with the left leg. Right foot forward, you're up on your left toes. Hips square, shoulders square. And then we'll take it down. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pulse and then stand and squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Stand and squeeze. So remember that extra bit of like squeezing out the juice from the orange here in this left glute. As you take your time to lift, straighten the legs, squeeze. Good, well done. If your hands are on your hips, you'll feel it when it happens. Squeeze, good. 15 seconds. Rise up slow, zip it up. 10 to go. Nicely done, squeeze. Here we go, we count down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. All right, so the stretch for this one, ankle across the knee, sit back, take the knee wide, even if it's just for a moment. Swap it around, knee wide, sit back. Perfect, so one more round. Right leg steps back, come onto your toes, hips and shoulders forward, hands on the hips. Place your thumbs on your glutes so you can feel them working. 3 slow pulses, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Zip up, squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Zip up, squeeze. So whilst I encourage you to work at your own pace, take it nice and slow. Use your pulses, keep the muscles under tension, and then the rise and squeeze to really give an extra bit of punchiness to the rear glute. Good, 15 seconds to go. And then you should be feeling it in the right thigh quite nicely as well. Rise up slow, squeeze. Good, nearly there, 5 seconds. Hip bridges, last time, here we go, 10 seconds. Shake it off, come on down. So you've got the option to pulse at the top, add an extra pulse if you want a little bit more, or go single time, 1 up, 1 down. Here we go. So extra pulse as an option, take it down slow. Bring it back up. Extra pulse, down slow. If you prefer, 1 pulse is absolutely fine, as is single time lift and lower. Keep breathing. Maybe you give the shoulders a little wriggle so you have space for your arms. Lift in the chest. Squeeze the glutes as the hips come up. Good, well done. Again, your speed, but make sure you're working with purpose. You're not rushing. Doing these movements deliberately. Checking in with the knees, make sure that they haven't drifted wide, using your inner thighs to keep them in line. Great, hands behind the knees, stand up. Right, here we go, last round of step back lunge with the left side. Up on your left toes, toes and hips forward, and we go. 3 slow pulses, and then slowly stand, lift. 3 slow pulses. Good, stand and lift. Nice. Hands on the glutes so you can feel them working, thumbs on the glutes even. Lift, squeeze, take it down. Coming up to halfway with 20 seconds to go. You've got this. Lift with control. Left thigh starting to feel a little bit of that extra tension now. 10 seconds remaining. And then we're into our 3rd and final block. Down we go. Nice and smooth. And lift. Beautiful. Shake it off. Awesome. 10 seconds. Quick stretch if you need it. Right, let me quickly show you our next exercise. We call these flamingos. So we're going to be in tabletop. You're going to take your right knee, cross it over your left and squeeze it super tight. And then extend right knee over the left. Squeeze it super tight, like you want to lock it into position. Here we go. Right leg lifts, cross over the outside of the knee and squeeze. Right leg lifts, cross over the outside of the left knee and squeeze. Lift. Good, nice. Now if you start to feel like your lower back is compromising and arching, you can bring this onto the elbows, which will help your lower back stay a little bit more still. But I want you to think about inner thigh, squeeze as you cross the knees, glutes as you extend your leg. Squeeze and lift. Beautiful. So if you're onto your forearms, the leg is going to be a lovely extension of your body. Stretch out the back of the neck, tuck the chin ever so slightly before you lift again. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Stand up. So we're going to do skaters, side to side. For a lower impact version, step and tap, step and tap. If you want to up the tempo, take the back leg off the ground and skate side to side. Good. Now I'm going to use the glutes by pushing away from your supporting leg. Nice. Keeping the knee bent, drive the ground away. Will give you the distance left and right. And you can use the arms for a bit of extra momentum. Nice, halfway, 20 seconds. Stay low, tilt forward at the hips, keep the knees bent. Well done. Just over 10 to go. Side to side, push the ground away, push, push, push. Use the glutes. Nice, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Down to all fours. Remember, straight arms or come onto your forearms. This time it's the left knee across the right. Connect the knees, squeeze nice and tight. We'll extend. Here we go, 40 seconds. Squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift. So inner thighs working as the knees cross over and connect. Glutes working as the leg extends. Either with straight arms or forearms, helping you just to maintain a bit more integrity in the lower back. You're lifting out through your shoulders, try not to sink through your upper arms. So draw the chest away from the ground. 15 seconds to go. Lift and squeeze, and pull it in again. Good. Less than 10. Nearly there, nearly there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Sit back, hips over the heels, little rock if you need, and then we'll get ready for our second round. Right, 10 seconds, then we go. Straight arms or onto the forearms. Right knee crosses on the outside of the left. Ready to lift. Into the flamingo. Out we go. Lift and squeeze. Now just check, because when your right knee crosses your left, chances are your right foot is going to be on a bit of an angle. Just make sure that the angle doesn't end up going out towards the side when you straighten your leg. Send it straight back behind you rather than out towards the right on a diagonal. So it's in line with the hips. Squeeze and extend. 15 seconds to go. Then we pop up for our skaters. Squeeze and extend. Good. As you bring the knees together, you might even notice your core muscles working a little bit. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Well done. Stand up for your skaters. Up we go. So remember the lower impact version, step and tap, push the ground away, step and tap, push the ground away, or move with more speed. Good. But you've got that pivot from the hips. So there's a little lean forward. Shoulders about in line with the knees on a vertical plane, kicking your back foot behind you, and then pushing the ground away with your standing leg. And the push away is what uses your glutes. Good. Nice. Over halfway. Speed is up to you, but the faster you work with this one, the more reps you get in, the more muscle contractions you have. Less than 10. Let's go. Nice. 3, 2, 1. Down we go. Into your tabletop, straight arms or bent. Left knee crosses your right this time. Squeeze it in nice and tight. Find your set position, and we extend. Push it back, tighten close. Lift away, squeeze. So again, with this one, try and keep the foot in line with the hip. Watch out for it swinging wide. You're gonna kick it straight back behind you, just over the edge of your mat. Pull the knees in tight. Maybe you feel a little bit of core brace. Halfway. Less than 20 seconds to go now. Extend, squeeze, extend. So you don't have to send the foot that high. It's the extension which will be using your glutes. If the lower back stays firm, you can lift it a little higher. But if the lower back starts to sink, take it down a bit. Well done. Sit back, hips over heels, reach forward, grab a breath, have a drink, maybe a quick wipe of the face. Third and final round. 10 seconds to go. Set yourself up, right knee across the left, nice and firm, ready to send your foot behind you. Here we go. Extend and squeeze. Extend and squeeze. All right, extra challenge. Keep your right big toe as close to your midline as you can. So whether you flex your foot or point the toe, right big toe close to your midline. So your right little toe almost dialing down. So we've got a little bit of internal rotation of the hip, trying to keep the hips nice and square. If I exaggerate, if you do the opposite, the hips will roll out. And we don't want to do that. We want to keep them super tight. Just over 5 seconds to go. Squeeze and push. Squeeze and push. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Pop yourself up for the final round of skaters. Or step and tap. Let's bring it a little lower this time. Nice and low, bigger angle at the hips and the knees. Here we go. Left and right. Let's skate. Good. Awesome. So despite more hinge at the hips, keep the chest up, keep the shoulders back so you can breathe. Using your arms as much or as little as you need as you step side to side. Good. Well done. Coming up to halfway with 20 seconds to go. Can we make it a little quicker? As if there's a race and the finish line is in sight. Push away with your standing leg. Send your body weight the opposite direction. Use your glutes. 10 seconds to go. Come on. Yes, nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Down we go. Last round. Find your tabletop. Left knee over right. Connect nice and tight. Straight arms or forearms. Here we go. Lift it behind you. Squeeze. Lift and squeeze. So the height, remember, will be dictated by your lower back. When the lower back starts to arch as your foot lifts, take a little lower. If the lower back stays firm, awesome, you can lift a little higher. Left big toe this time, close to your midline. Left little toe dialing down so the hip stays square rather than rolling out and lifting. Just over 10 seconds to go, you're nearly there. Lift, squeeze, lift. We count down for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, awesome. You're gonna keep your hands where they are. Send your feet behind you. Lift the hips, push back into the heels, take a nice stretch through the lower leg, and the back of the thigh. Try and relax the shoulders, head and neck. And then we're going to take a big step through with the right knee towards your right wrist. The right ankle underneath the hips or a little bit further forward. Release your back toes. Start by sitting up nice and tall. Hips forward, shoulders forward. Sink the hips down. Feel the stretch in your right glutes. And if you're ready, you can walk your hands forward, coming a little lower, only if that feels comfortable for the hip and the knee. Easing down as you breathe deep. 5 more seconds here. And then we're going to lift up and change legs. So rise back up, straight arms if you had your arms bent. Tuck your back toes, step back with the right, step forward with the left. Knee in line with the ankle, knee in line with the wrist. And then sit tall to start with, square hips, square shoulders, allow the hips to ease down. If and when you're ready, reach forward. Lowering your elbows, sinking down, enjoying the stretch in the left glute. 5 more seconds and we'll rise up. 3, 2, 1. Straight arms if you weren't already there. Send both feet back into plank, hip distance apart. Lift your hips, walk your hands towards your feet, bend them when you need to. And we're just going to hold here for a second, stretching the back of the legs, bending the knees if you need. And we'll take a slow rise up, unravel, roll up into standing. Grab something to hold on to if you need to. Take one heel towards your hips. Squeeze the knees in close, hips forward, standing legs soft as we stretch the front of the thigh. Chest up still nice and tall so you can breathe. Awesome. The same ankle that you've got a hold of, you're going to swing it across your standing legs knee. Take that knee wide, sit yourself back and down. Stretching again into the glutes. Lovely. Taking your time, we'll roll up, quad stretch on the opposite side. Heel to hips, hips square, standing legs soft. Squeezing the hips forward. Wow, don't lose your balance. Awesome. Alright, take that ankle across the knee of your standing leg. As you bend your standing knee, sit back. Take the elevated knee wide. Good. Sink a little deeper if that feels good. Fantastic. Alright, rise up when you're ready. Send your feet nice and wide, turning your toes out. We're going to breathe out, sweep the fingertips down as the knees bend. Breathe in, reach up. And again, out we go. And up. Awesome, bring your hands together, give yourself a round of applause. Well done, thank you so much for your company. I hope you had a great workout. Make sure that you have lots to drink.
Activity completed.